outstanding and world-class vision and world-class this.
I'm a real leadership geek, honestly. I've spent my whole career reading books and chatting to people.
I just find the whole thing and the announcement, the way it's been announced, bizarre.
If you could move away from a model where teachers are so intensely focused.
Hello and welcome this Tuesday evening. Tonight we're going to be talking about arts festivals in schools, but first of all I'm just going to run through our lovely sponsors that bring our show together. First of all, we've got lovely John Catt Educational. So our show is brought to you in partnership with them, and you can find all your professional development books and resources that support great teaching and learning in schools around the world. Level up your professional development today and visit johncattbookshop.com to explore the full range of titles. And we've also got a discount code for you, so use JCTTR2425 for 20% off your order. We also have teaching how-tos. Have you heard of teaching how-tos? Imagine having your own instructional coach available 24/7. Now it's reality with Teaching How-tos platform. This highly personalised social platform empowers busy teachers to learn and apply evidence-based teaching techniques, either independently, working collaboratively with their peers, or with our new AI assistant. Their platform features over 160 visual guides to teaching techniques. Interested in finding out more, visit teachinghowtos.com and register for their next webinar. You can also go back and me and Tom interviewed them a couple of weeks ago. So if you want to know a bit more or see it in action, then go back and watch that show. We've also got Reading Solutions. So are you looking for your best practice and innovative strategies to foster confident, lifelong readers? Watch sessions by thought leaders in education, literacy experts and edtech specialists from international reading conferences for free. The 3-day conference explored a range of topics at the forefront of current educational landscapes, with sessions relevant for all educators in key stages. Sign up to receive recordings for free at readingsolutionsuk.co.uk. And our final sponsor for tonight is Apps for Good. So Apps for Good give schools free introductory computing courses. The courses are for everyone, including those who aren't computing teachers, and they're fully equipped with resources mapped to the UK computing curriculum. Students will develop essential and digital skills by working in teams to create prototype apps for good. Visit appsforgood.org to find out more. So tonight we're going to be talking about Arts Fest, and we've got Jess here, who was in charge of the amazing Arts Fest, and I was very lucky to be kind of invited along to it. You were like, "Oh, you're nearby, come and see it." So I'm really grateful that I managed to catch it. Talk us through, like, kind of what made you decide to do this in the first place.
Hello. So my actual role in my school is to be an art and textiles teacher, and before I got there they had what was called Arts Fest, which was a day of timetable where they could celebrate the arts through different workshops or activities. And then I was really lucky enough that since I've been there, the post got re-advertised and the day wanted to continue. So knowing how organised I am and how much I love planning an event, I thought, right, this is something I can definitely do. And my background being art, I thought actually I can hopefully infuse and encourage lots of arts, even to those that do not have access to the curriculum anymore for one reason or another. So predominantly it's to give everyone the same opportunities to workshops, activities outside their comfort zone, outside of the curriculum, that enriches their knowledge of themselves, people around them, their heritage, our college heritage. And we do that in lots of different ways. We bring in drama specialists, we bring in music specialists, we bring in art specialists to be able to allow students and staff to choose something they want to do.
It was such an interesting event, and we'll give Tim a shout out because he started it before you, didn't he? And then you've kind of carried that mantle on. And it was just interesting to see so much going on. And I've conned Jess into StreamYard tonight because I feel like people need to physically see everything that's going on. And the great thing was is that I ran around and kind of interviewed a couple of people as well and got their stance on it. So this first picture on the right hand side is the art battle, and I interviewed the art teacher on this one, so we're just going to listen to what she had to say. It was a very busy day, so there is a little bit of noise in the background from the kids, but you should be able to hear most of it.
So art battle, we've got 5 easels set up here, and we have 5 boarding houses, so the students get rewarded obviously points for houses by participating. We have the theme of heritage, and they choose whatever materials they would like, and they choose whatever type of paper, whether they want coloured paper or whatever, and they just produce an artwork, and then it's essentially a competition as well, so they get a prize. We sort of reward the best ones.
What's great about this as a way of celebrating the arts within school?
It's all about creativity, expressing themselves, participation. It's all about kind of joining in, and it's different, very different to being in a lesson. It's quite freeing, and it's been really popular actually. Lots of the kids have been interested in doing it.
And that was that one where they had like the boards and stuff, and they were going around and kind of creating different pictures for their houses. Do you find that like kind of doing that and doing like house points and prizes and things got the kids more involved?
Yes, and actually, I can't take credit for this one because it was my partner that actually said, "Have you seen Art Battle?" And it started in New York, and it's made its way over to the UK in Manchester. And then when I saw it and I saw the different rounds, I mean, it's a huge kind of deal. So we kind of advertised it as this competitive, get involved, but it's like it's outside of the curriculum, so you haven't got those rules applied to it. And actually the uptake on it year on year has been really good. Students are naturally competitive, so house points definitely help encourage kind of participation. We did announce our winners on our Instagram on I don't know if we've linked it, but on Wyndham College Arts you can see the winners. They're very quick fire rounds, which is nice as well because it kind of takes that preciousness away and just kind of allows them to just go, come in here, let's give it a go, and they get to go for it, which is fun. Yeah,
I think that's the thing. People don't think of the arts as being competitive, but actually you can be competitive in drawing as much as any other subject.
oh yeah, absolutely. But equally it's quite nice that they're competitive because it's like they want to have their own stamp on their work and get that acknowledgement and recognition for it, but also they're also different, so it isn't like you have to create something that looks a certain way. So it is actually kind of an unknown competitiveness, but they do get involved. It's quite nice. And the only thing they do have the link to is heritage, and that's kind of what we base the festival around. It has to be based on our student identity, our college identity. So we bring a lot of like Norfolk heritage in, and we have lots of borders, so lots of international heritage culture comes through in terms of the food, the activities that were run. So in Art Battle we also see a lot of that, which is nice, and it's dead centered in the field, so you can't miss it. You can't walk past it and not take a look. And then people get really like, I don't know, because they're in different houses, they support each other, which again creates that community feel, and again it's part of the college heritage. So yeah, it's a nice one.
No, I really like that. And the thing is as well, you got all the community involved. I'd like to say the other ones did have people at them. That was the only one. I think the pizza van was very, very popular, but the other photos are from before they kind of opened. But you got local kind of businesses involved as well. So what made you decide to do that and kind of open it up that way?
So it's the first year we've ever brought on food. We've had Bakerholics every single year, and we're super lucky to have them. Morgan, who founded Bakerholics, is one of our alumni students, so we love having her and her family there to kind of support the college. So again, going back to like our college roots, and it was kind of the kind of savoury vans, if you like, was an introduction to heritage through food. And although not necessarily the arts, actually catering and producing menus and designing food is an art. And it's that way of like exploring something like that's not written. So we were able to luckily get free food trucks on site that day. Chim Chim Thai, which you can see I loved having, and it was like plant-based vegan Thai food, which was amazing, as you know, because we had some. And then obviously pizza went without a miss, and obviously we had lots of like gluten-free alternatives and different toppings that people could choose from. We had bucket list, which again have different toppings. And we had Squidge and Squilla lined up, who offer like this Caribbean street food, which would have been amazing, but unfortunately couldn't make it. So we're hoping with the success of this year that we can branch out a little bit bigger next year with it. So we kind of dipped our toes in this year, and it paid off. So
and the whippy machine as well, because the sun just about held out, and that was quite a popular one as well.
What was that one?
The whippy, the ice cream vans.
Always. I don't think you can beat an ice cream at a festival.
No, exactly. And I think that's the thing. It really made it and gave it that kind of festival vibe. And like you said, it is that weird thing, isn't it, of that even though we think of art as just kind of art, but actually there's so much more to it. And that quite often catering and DTE is all kind of pulled in together, and that kind of business side and things is always, like you said, all of these places would have been designed by somebody would have designed the branding for it or set out how that business was going to work. And I think it's important to all these kind of different areas kind of link together and put themselves as one.
Even like the art letters that you saw on Art Battle, they were created by Year 9 DT students. So we tried where possible to use our in-house talent. Again, it wants a student feel, because we want them to take ownership over the festival. It's for them. We kind of want it to feel as much as we can created by them. All the decorations you saw on the day and the gazebos between them, around the area, all made by them. They've taken complete ownership about the activities they've put on, the way they've advertised in advance, and the successful running of it, and what it looks like to draw people in. You've got the college ones, but are you mentioning the business ones later?
Yes, the business ones are on later. We'll do this one next. So you've got local colleges as well to have little stores, which I thought was a genius idea, because it's that perfect opportunity for them to have that more casual chat with them.
Oh yeah, so again, we work really closely anyway, like within our curriculum, with different arts universities around the college. We've just been to Grads Fest at Norwich University of the Arts, who always welcome us. So we have a nice relationship with them. And, from their point of view, it might like target a few students to think aspirational. What do you want to do after this? We offer creative courses beyond college life, if you so wish to do that. Most of them are either post-16 or post-18 courses. And we actively want to give them those opportunities to know what's available. So they all do like little taster sessions. So Access Creative did like a mini games jam and games design. Newer did block printing and furniture packing, which was quite fun. And then we've had UEA before, giving us talks around culture and history and big icons. So it is really nice to get involved with those that are closest to us, but giving the students also access to outside of the college. We don't also just want to keep them narrow-minded. There are opportunities beyond the walls of the college.
Yeah, exactly. I've got a little clip from the lady who ran the newest stores. We'll see what she had to say.
Hiya. So we're here with Norwich University of the Arts, and we're running some creative workshops. And we think it's a great way to get involved with the students, show them about possible creative careers, and spark their interest into fulfilling a creative degree.
And what made you come here and talk to these students? Do you feel like more schools should do this kind of thing?
Yeah, so it's really great to be able to come to a school and talk to the students. Obviously, we're just down the road, about 30 minutes away, so it makes it really accessible for students to be able to be interested in our university and things like that.
Have you had any good questions from the students?
Yeah, so we've had a lot of interest into the different courses, and we've also had quite a lot of people come up saying they've already been to our open days and things like that, so it's really great to be able to see that interest is already there. But yeah, just building these connections a bit further, and yeah, it's great to speak to them.
And I've got as well, I caught a couple of students at that store, so we're going to hear what they had to say about being at Newest stall and kind of speaking to somebody from Norwich University Arts and doing the activities and what they thought of the day.
So today, I'd probably say my favourite bit was, honestly, it was probably this bit, because here we just got to we just got to make our own postcards. I'll probably use it for later on, and also it's just quite nice and relaxing doing it, because it was just chill.
What is your favourite bit about today?
I really enjoyed all of the performances, because I think that it's really important that we put on shows like performances like this, so it can really encourage kids to be more kind of willing to perform and be more confident with that.
Has it changed your opinions about the arts and the performing arts and
I think
in it?
I think I've always been really keen to do performing arts, but I think for other people certainly it must have really changed their view on it. I think.
Does it make you want to be more creative?
Yes, actually, because I was listening to the some singing over by it, and I just thought, I really want to be able to just sing like that. So I thought, it has changed my view on just arts.
I think it's so lovely listening to them kind of talk about the day and what they got out of it as well.
Really lovely, because obviously you don't get round to see everyone, and as much as I stormed that field and went round to see if everyone was getting on okay and see what everyone was up to, it's impossible to speak to everyone. So yeah, that's really sweet.
Because that's the thing as well, it was really sweet to see that you invited the kind of primary school and the junior school up as well.
Yes, so our college now has a prep attached to it, which obviously helps with transition and working together between primary life and secondary life. So since we've run it for the last 3 years, the prep school have come up every single time, and they always do a little performance on the music stage, which is just amazing. I think they're so clever and so talented, and they start so early on and so enthusiastic. So again, it's like building into their college experience from prep into when they get there. They're like, I remember doing that, and it's a legacy like kind of to lead on. So yeah, we enjoy having them.
It's just so nice to see all the different year groups kind of mixing, like you said, all the way from prep all the way up, and then even considering where they're going to go after that. It was just lovely to see them all in there together.
Oh yeah.
You had other ones. I'll pick one of you and your brother. Yeah. So you've got you had loads of kind of really interesting things in there as well. So it was kind of really inclusive. You had the air ambulance kind of teaching the kids how to do CPR. You had a glitter bar doing glitter for the kids. It was just everywhere you look, there was something for everybody.
Yeah, so the idea obviously behind this is, as much as it's an afternoon celebrating the arts, obviously there is like an undertone of education, whether that's educating on didn't know someone could put on that performance, or didn't know someone could sing or perform, or actually breaking them out of their comfort zone, them having a go at something, learning that they can do it, or going to the houses and learning actually what they planned paid off, or however they were involved, whether it was behind the scenes, in the background, at the forefront. Some education, some kind of knowledge would have been taken from that experience, hopefully. And bringing the East Anglian Air Ambulance is no different. So obviously, like you said, he's my brother, he's a volunteer there, and we have a nice connection with the East Anglian Air Ambulance because they use our field to practice landing and different drills. So that's becoming more and more integrated into our college life too. So again, forming part of our college heritage. So it was nice for them to be on, but also to be able to provide life-saving skills. And I definitely learnt something from my little brother, as much as anything else. So yeah, that was nice. And then
teaching in the blood there.
Exactly. No, he's very passionate about it as well. He takes it really seriously, and he's got a really kind of love for it. So it was actually a pleasure to have him on and like do his thing in his capacity. And the glitter bar is there really to get people in a festival mood, because although it's a non-school uniform day, so students can express themselves through clothes, they'll get a little wristband at the point of registration, which again gives it that kind of going to an event, got my wristband on, that's my entry point. Everyone loves a bit of glitter, and everyone loves those little additions that make you relax, that make you feel part of it, rather than just turning up and going, where do I fit in? Get some glitter on. Obviously, we'll probably talk about it later, but there's hair braiding available, face painting available, henna available, all these little things that you can collect and go round that make you feel part of it, so you can just like sink into it and enjoy it. which is the main part.
It's just like real. It was felt like a kids festival, but like a taste of the real thing. But you touched on it with the wristbands. So you obviously knew the kids had registered, they got their wristbands, but you also had it was so well organised. You had seats around the outside that were always numbered, and the teachers took it in turns to make sure all the exit points were kind of covered in terms of thinking about our safeguarding. We've got to put every hat on today.
Every kind of detail was considered, and obviously we had lots of vendors and visitors on site, so there's a huge kind of safety and safeguarding viewpoint we have to have on it. We've got parents and carers coming on site, which was a pleasure to have, because they were able to see their son, daughter, perform and be in their kind of fun space. Equally, we wanted our students to keep safe and be responsible, and actually they did a great job, because it was a really lovely afternoon. There was no issues, but that's because everyone hopefully just had fun and wanted to be part of it. But yes, wristbands were done at registration so that they could get their afternoon mark, and we knew obviously who we've got down there. But ultimately for them, it's that I can get into the festival, I want to go to the festival part. So it's a win-win all round.
Exactly that. And here we've got some of the stages, because you had 2 stages, didn't you? How did that work?
Yeah, so we're really lucky that Rory Holbrook, who is a local lorry company, he was able to donate a lorry trailer for the afternoon for us. So we dressed it up in all its gear, and we were able to have a PA system on stage that our in-house bands could perform. So we had our string orchestra, jazz orchestra, house band, house choir. Prep school could all fit up there and have that, that dominance across the field, because it's big up high on stage. You can see the whole field. It's really lovely. And that was again planned so that they all had their own time slots. And the music stage was additional, because we had students going, I want to perform, and we just couldn't manage it in the time that we had, and we didn't want to cut anyone short. So the music stage went the other side of the field, so you could hear 2 different types of music depending where you were, and that allowed our soloists to perform. So we had some beautiful performances, age range from year 7 up to year all the way through up to year 10. So really, really fortunate that, again, it's hopefully starting to create a bit of a stir. Can you remember last year hoping to want to go, I want to get involved next year. Now I've seen so and so perform, I want to now perform. So yeah,
I think it's exactly that, and it's lovely to see kind of community get involved and donating trucks. I think this is the thing, school budgets are tight, and actually this is a really great way to build community and get people involved into the school, because quite often, especially with the media as it is now, there's that kind of fraction, isn't there, between teachers and schools and parents. But actually there are good parents that we can lean on that like to get involved and will donate, and they can make special events like this, and actually opening it up to them as well kind of can make them look at the school differently and kind of really see that lovely vibe.
Oh yeah, we are overwhelmed with the responses that we always get every time we've kind of ask students what do they want. We're so fortunate that our wider school community is generous, and we've got lots of lovely links with our students, parents, families, and people like to get involved. So lots of our gazebos have been donated by either local primary schools or charities or students' families themselves. We had, in part of the business stall, lots of families get involved with their son or daughter's enterprise and then start bringing in their kind of their business. So we had a Mr. Whippy machine, and that was because that was his dad's business, and we had a tractor on site for a photo booth, and that was part of the business. It's just really lovely to see it also be instilled down. So again, that those students take ownership of that space because that's their family. So yeah, it's really lovely that we've got so many willing and helpful kind people around us.
Now, I've got an interview with a student who performed, who I think you saw when I was with you, who you wished luck, and I think you was a bit nervous and weren't sure whether she was going to go through it, but she did, and she talks about everything she learned from it, and it's lovely. So listen to this one.
So I sang today, and I found out about it because my head of house had mentioned they were going to start planning for the summer gala and there's usually the music lorry. So he said, like, if you want to volunteer to do anything, then you can. And so I thought I would volunteer singing because I felt like I needed to go outside of my comfort zone. And then literally only a few days ago, I found out that there was going to be a music stage and not just a music lorry. And so I thought that was fine, but I was really nervous, but I'm glad that I actually did it and didn't chicken out on the day, or today. So yeah.
You enjoyed it in the end then?
Yeah, I did.
Would you recommend somebody else getting up and singing?
Yeah, I mean, if they like to sing, and well, if they know they sound good, then I suggest they do it.
Face your fears.
Yeah.
It was lovely, like, seeing how excited she was after having achieved it. And I think that's the thing. It was obviously a very much a team effort, kind of encouraging these kids to give it a go, and obviously made such a safe space for them to do it as well.
Oh, that voice clip was really touching. So I know this student quite well, and she definitely acted herself, and I was so pleased that she gave it a go, and I'm so glad it paid off and that she had such a great time, and it's so lovely hearing that. I'm really proud of her actually for doing that, and actually they're a lot braver than me, because I don't think I could do that. So for her to do that, push herself outside such a huge comfort zone, she did amazing. Yeah. So yeah.
Exactly that. And then you had like a giant gazebo which had all the different houses in it. And so the houses, there was a little bit of an inter-house competition going on, and they had kind of different stalls. Do you want to tell us a bit more about that?
The house tent is one of like the biggest spectaculars of the event, because the houses get so into it, and it is what helps make the gala. And because the houses have got the students at the center point, they create like little committees in house. And again, it's just such a lovely thing that it's all student led, and the heads of house just are so supportive of it, and they do what they can to make these ideas work. And if it wasn't for heads of house and the house team supporting them, it just wouldn't pay off. But the students do get really involved, and every year, how can we top the last year? So they all had a theme of heritage, and they've all got, each house has a name after a prominent figure, except Newhall, because they're just the Newhall. So they explored who they had in their house, what students did they have in house, and how could we broadcast this or plan something around it. So Newhall had a mocktail bar. They made a tiki bar last year, so they've reused it, so that's always good to know. And they did mocktails from around the world, and they also made a mini golf course where they painted all the boards and made a mini golf course, so you could go to each country in which students were from and go on a golf course. And they'd painted the golf hole in like corresponding paintings. They put so much effort into their stand, or area should I say. And then Peel is named after Sam Peel, and Sam Peel is from Wales Next to Sea, so they had a seaside theme. I don't know how much you saw if you looked up, there was all these streamers, and they made cardboard seagulls, and they brought the circus in. So Peel had done a bake sale in the leading up 2 weeks to raise money to pay for the circus. So they had a circus act next to their area, whereby obviously you could perform, you could get involved, and you could watch the show, which again,
I had no idea that was fundraised by the kids. That's amazing.
Yeah, they did it through bake sales every Saturday. So they had a plan, and they, like I said, they raise it. So they had a committee where you have one side is like a business committee. It's the leadership. It's the right. These are the plans. They kind of chair it like a council committee. And then they raise money, and they go through like wanting to order. So they're in charge of the logistics, and then you have a decorating team. So some students will want to be kind of business minded and lead a team. Some students will want to be the creative, and they will want to make. So in their meetings, once decisions were made, they were spending time making streamers, making garlands, making seagulls. painting palette signs, and it's all done through donations or raising their own money or pulling on resources that they have. So like pallets we get from deliveries. Those fry boards, they were done a few years ago. Kate had a bake sale, so they were baking in house, and because we're a boarding school, some of the Wyndham Life activities that we do in the evenings are there to support it. So they were baking in the kitchens in the evenings as part of their evening activity. So yeah, it all comes together. And the day before the summer gala, they come down in after school in boarding time, and they'll come in and decorate. So they really do make it their own down there. It's brilliant. And the marquee is 24 metres, so plenty big enough for everyone to get in.
And that was the thing, it was just so big, and there was so much, and the things that like potentially kids you'd be like, oh, maybe that's a bit enough, but it wasn't. They were all just, every stall had people at them, and they were all wanting to get involved in every single area. There was no kind of area that was left untouched. There was like just a buzz and an atmosphere. They all wanted to have a go at everything, and it was clear that these kids had put a lot of effort into it, but also they were very respectful of each other's.
Yeah, and it's definitely something you see more so when you all come together, because you do support one another and you do cheer them on and you do want them to do well, and that you see across all students. And it was just the other day, someone was struggling to do something. It was like, come on, you can do it, and there was these complete strangers to this student. So we do have a really good student network. Yeah.
I think it's the thing as well. They've learned like such life skills with this, learning about how they're planning it. If they want to go extravagant, what they need to do in order to be able to fund that. But there's so much they can take on after they leave school and use these valuable points and lessons that they've learned.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we now do it annually. So they learn from last year too. As they get older, they can then take on the natural leadership role and then kind of guide the year sevens. When the year sevens are top of the school of year 10, obviously we do the gala once the year 11s have left. So year 10s tend to be leading. They'll be well equipped because they've seen 4 years. They've learned from all of that. So every year, and ever since I've now done it for 3 years, it's just got better, and you learn something every single time. And even I learn something every single time. So I have got my pointers. I've already pushed through the feedback forms, and we've got lots of data now collected from it. And the biggest consensus is it wasn't long enough. And I think if that's the negative, I'm going to take that, because that's a really good one, because it means they wanted more. So, yeah.
We've got a little comment about your student that's sung as well from JBL. These are the moments that students will remember long after they've left school. Good for her. And I think it is exactly that. This is like, because quite often we have sports day and things like that, but also we mustn't forget the arts. Like, they are really important. And you've shown like, A, how much kids can get out of this, but B, there's so much learning involved in terms of like the business and the making, but also just the community feel of it as well. So it's I think it's like all schools should be doing this. It should be just as important as a sports day. We should all have an arts day.
Well, I'm not going to disagree. I'm really chuffed to read that. I mean, part of obviously selfishly, I'm like, I want to create this legacy where Summer Gala runs on, and it does become that every year expected thing like sports day. And we are so lucky that we are a boarding school, and we have such a wealth of members of staff and students that put in the extra to make them happen. And we do have annual music concerts, we have annual competitions, we have annual sports days, we have a biannual drama performance, which is huge. And the Summer Gala, formerly known as Arts Fest, used to be biannual, and now it's every year. And I was talking to someone on the field, and we were just chatting about how it's all going. And great event, good positive feedback. It's like this is a moment that hopefully they'll remember doing X, Y, and Z, because sometimes when you're out of the classroom, you gain wider experience without realizing, like I said earlier, there is an educational point to this, but it isn't focused on sitting down and writing about it, or sitting down and understanding your learning. it's that kind of intrinsic, it's just happening because you're taking it in and you're feeling part of it. And like going back to the wristbands, hopefully some of them cut them off and put them in a memory scrapbook. I remember we did summer gala. Do you remember at summer gala? So I hope that I am creating some like core memories, and again it becomes part of our college heritage that we run it. And I mean, I could keep going actually, because our college, I know, do so much, and that we do formals every single year for every single year group at Christmas. Now that's a core memory. So I want it to be up there with that, one of those events where students want to do it, want to look forward to it, and I think it feels that way.
Because although you've said your school is boarding, it's a state school. It's quite a unique school, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a state boarding school, so there's very few of us in the country.
Just for anybody that's listening, in case, because I'm like, the fact that this is a state school doing this is just really impressive. We've got a couple on here, so again, like bringing in the wide range of activities that kids can do across the school. You've got the CCF doing there. I'd like to say the furthest person you can't really see very well in the picture is one of the teachers lying down. He was the first person to get under the cargo net and was down there with the gun. But unfortunately, I think the kids beat him in the end. He couldn't quite get the all the bottles down. But I've got, again, another little clip from one of the ladies who ran this and talked about it. But again, she just talks about the fact that it's seeing people in a different light and seeing teachers in a different light, which I thought was quite interesting.
Can you explain me what this stand is about?
This is the CCF promoting a little bit of fun firing. So obviously it's not real fun, but we're using Nerf guns today, and they crawl under a cam net first, kamikaze crawling under, and then they run out, get onto the mat, lie down and fire the Nerf guns at some bottles that we've got on a stand.
And how have you found the kids have responded today?
Yeah, they like it. It's really good fun. Yeah, just have a little snapshot. It's really nice and quick and easy for them, rather than going into lots of detail about CCF. And then if they ask us questions about joining CCF, well, we're all here.
What do you make of a day like today? Why is it important?
Oh, it's important to have the CCF present. Well, there's lots of students come to CCF, but it's also good for them to see us outside having a bit of fun as well. I think sometimes they think it's quite serious, and there's a fun side to it as well.
Brilliant. And what do you like about the day in as a whole? Like, do you think all schools should do something like this?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, everyone fun, and see some of the teachers as well in a different environment rather than behind the classroom.
I think that was a really interesting point that she made at the end, that like seeing the teachers out of the classroom in different elements. And I think if you've got a good teaching staff that are happy to get involved and happy to help, it can make a real difference to something like this.
Did you not include the video of me soaking the teacher?
I did not.
They raised £100. So again, that's a really good point. So you spoke to our CCF leader, and she's brilliant. And our college heritage, again, has huge amounts of military families boarding at our school. And we also have lots of day students now participating in CCF as part of their extracurricular. So again, it's really important that they're there, and it's really lovely that they can be there. And they're right, it's so quick, it's really fun. And I actually saw some students there. I've never seen them so focused, actually. And then just like further down, there was Sponge the teacher, and they had filled the timetable up with teachers willing to have wet sponges thrown at them, which I thought was amazing. And it was 50p a go, and you could sponge a teacher, and everyone showed up and everyone had good fun. And it is nice for students to recognise that teachers are normal people too.
It's exactly that. I think as well, like it creates that safe space for people to have a go at the CCF stuff that potentially might be a bit nervous or not really want to sign up, but they get this go, and it creates that fun environment. I think that's really important. But then they also have like the other stores. So we've got the Amnesty International store. They were looking at kind of pride and things like that. And it's just like really interesting that there was such an eclectic mix of kind of really open place for people to have conversations about different things. And again, I've got another little clip, so we'll listen to what they have to say.
We are doing a Pride stall to celebrate Pride Month.
Why do you think having things like this at an arts festival is a good idea?
So I think it's really important that we celebrate human rights around the world, but also shine a light on places and issues that are not yet kind of up to where modern standards should be. So we've got some fun stuff like some glitter tattoos, we've got a human rights timeline game, and then we've got a petition that Amnesty are running for Pride Month. And we're hoping just to engage students in conversations, raise a bit of awareness, and hopefully have some fun with some glitter at the same time.
How have you found the students have responded to it?
Fantastic, and lots of students really interested in the petition, going to the Turkish Interior Ministry and having a good go at the timeline as well, not just the sweets.
And I think that's quite, it's just like a place to have these open conversations. I even saw one of the stalls, I think inside, the students had made their own protest petition to get another tuck shop that they were getting everyone to sign that they were going to. So they've obviously rubbed off well.
And again, lovely Anna runs our Amnesty group, and it's another opportunity for exposure to know that actually there is places in the school that you can go to and be part of a society and a group that you might not have heard of or not known about, and actually it's an opportunity for a discussion at the very least, or it's for someone to seek some comfort and kind of go, actually I really resonate, I really connect with this, I want to be more involved. So yeah, it's positive. And it's all good fun. That's the main thing. It's got to be fun and engaging.
And that's the thing, you can hear from it that everywhere was busy. It wasn't like, oh, they're only just at one place. Like the kids genuinely went round and had a look at all the stalls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm just going to play our sponsors and then we'll come back and chat a little bit more about our arts fest. You're welcome to put any comments in or ask any questions as well, and I can read them out to Jess if you've got any. But here's just a listen to our sponsors.
This show is brought to you in partnership with John Catt Educational, publishers of professional development books and resources that support great teaching and learning in schools around the world. Level up your professional development today and visit johncatbookshop.com to explore the full range of titles. Use the code JCTTR2425 for 20% off your order. Have you ever heard of teaching how-tos? Imagine having your own instructional coach available 24/7. Now it's a reality with the Teaching How-Tos platform. This highly personalised, socialised platform empowers busy teachers to learn and apply evidence-based teaching techniques, either independently, working collaboratively, or with their peers, or with their new AI assistant. The platform features over 160 visual guides to teaching techniques. Interested in finding out more? Visit teachinghowtos.com and register for their next webinar. Are you looking for the best practices and innovative strategies to foster confident, lifelong readers? Watch sessions by leaders in education, literacy experts, and EdTech specialists from the International Reading Conference for free. The 3-day conference explores a range of topics at the forefront of the current educational landscape, with sessions relevant for all educators and all key stages. Sign up to receive the recordings for free at readingsolutionsuk.co.uk. Apps for Good gives schools free introductory computing courses. The courses are for everyone, including those who aren't computing teachers, and they're fully equipped with resources mapped to the UK computing curriculums. Students will develop essential and digital skills by working in teams to create a prototype app for good. Visit www.appsforgood.org to find out more.
Okay, thank you to our lovely sponsors that make these shows happen. So these are kind of the business challenge. So this I found really intriguing. So this was to do with your Year 9 GCSE students. So they all got £10 investments to create their own businesses. All ideas and products have come from the students. So how did this bit work?
Yeah, so Year 9s, those who've chosen business, they were given £10 where they had free choices to what they spent the £10 on. But the idea is they use the Summer Gala platform to generate a profit. Now what happens is obviously all that profit does get split. So they are still working together, but they're working obviously for themselves. Again, how they pitch it, how they advertise it is up to them. We have already got year 8s talking about it. This was our first year of doing it, and it was so successful. I spoke to both our lovely business teachers that run it. They're like, yeah, we definitely want to be part of it again. Obviously, it's a huge platform for them because they've got footfall like immediately. It's so nice to see year 7s and 8s look to year 9s going, I want to do that, and for their peers to support them in their venture. So yeah, I've already got year 8s going, I've chosen business, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. It's creating a stir, it's creating a chat, which is what we want, a little buzz around the college around it. So when it comes up next year, the summer gala, there needs to be a little buzz, because again, that's what makes it. But we had all sorts, lots of food. Food seems to always be popular. And even though they had just had lunch, they still went down for more. There was waffles, candy floss, there was the bubble tea, there was ice cream, there was loaded nachos. Oh, what else was there? There was bracelet making, shell painting, shell jewellery, face painting, photo booth opportunities. Yeah, they really went for it. And there was a rave tent.
Yes, I remember the rave tent.
They put a tent and put a Bluetooth speaker in, and you could go in for 5 minutes to dance in this rave tent, which I think proved popular. So yeah, they really set a precedent. It's the first year, and it was a success. I think one of them made over £300 profit.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're very happy. We're very happy, and we can't wait to work on them back next year.
I have got a couple of these. I've definitely got the bubble tea, and I think I've got another one. So we'll listen to what the kids had to say about doing the business challenge.
The £10 challenge is when all the students get £10 to start up a business. So they'll buy things and then they'll sell things, or run a service. Now we're in the Arts Fest and it's a chance for us to sell things. My business's name is Boba Bliss Co. and I'm selling boba milk tea, mogu mogu and lollipops.
Okay, so we're doing like bracelets and we made sweets and we've got like a bit of henna going on as well.
And what have you learned from doing the business challenge?
I think we've learned that you kind of have to try a bit harder to start a business and it's not really as easy as it seems in a way.
And what do you think about Arts Fest as a whole?
I think it's good. I think it's a good experience to come to and fun to be around as well.
What's your favourite bit about it?
I think just being around all your friends and just having a bit of fun.
I think the rave tent was behind that one, but even the rave tent, they had boards that they went around to like sell their tickets. Like there was just so many little intricate things that they'd clearly thought about. And like you said, there's a lot of parents getting involved in these and kind of helping them with things to run the store. But the kids were very much the face of it.
It always is. It's student focused, student led, and the ultimate aim is to give them the experience and give them the exposure and give them the opportunities. I think us as adults and staff just secretly want to be a student again, so we just get involved because we naturally want to, be that kind of playful person again. So yeah, it is an all-round effort, but students definitely lead it. They make it what it is. And even though I spend hours decorating alongside the students, and it just never is the same until the students get down there, and that's when it feels like a festival.
I think it's exactly that. You can just be so proud of yourself, and I think it's that area as well. Like you seem to have just roped in every area of the school and really kind of made it work together. Like that must have been so hard. Or did you find actually, because of its reputation, everyone kind of wants to get involved?
I think obviously the first year was different because it was the first year I took it on, and like you said, Tim started it. It was his kind of baby, if you like. And bless him, he helped me no end with suggestions and structures, and I kind of led from him. And then as the years have gone on and things change, you obviously adapt to those different contexts, and it starts to build a reputation. And this year we did have people say, can we be part of it? So this year obviously the business challenge wanted to come along, and we also had my mind's gone completely blank, but I didn't mean to. We've always had a wellbeing tent there. So we do like mindfulness colouring, painting stones, and we have the paddle board. I don't know if you've got this image.
No, I forgot to put the photo on. Yeah, you had there was like a little paddling pool with a paddle board and a therapy dog.
Yes, we have a therapy dog anyway, and she's lovely, Georgie, and she's part of our wellbeing team. And they come along, and we've this year they brought in Men's Craft, a men's mental health charity. They came on site, so we had people coming on that wouldn't normally. So again, it's a kind of the profiles being raised, and we want to give as much exposure and opportunities for many people as possible. We also had yoga this time, so we had more members of our wellbeing team offer more activities. It's the first year we've had yoga sessions, and that was just on the back of the paddleboarding section. And upon speaking to these lovely ladies that run it, they want to do it again next year. So I just think, yes, it's starting to, like, you know, people are wanting to, can I do this? Can I get involved? How can I get involved? Even if it's to come down and help decorate, or if it is to come down and help just set up, people are kind of, a little buzz, just a little buzz, but it's getting bigger.
And I saved this photo for the last because I thought it was amazing. You had a colour run as well.
Just to finish off the event, Cavill, so one of our another house tent, they ran a digital mural and they had painting going on throughout their session in their event, like their house tent. And they said at the very end, we're going to do a colour run. And we had it the first year and it was really popular. And this year, I think just because of the timing, it wasn't as popular, but from feedback, it's like, we want to do the colour run because the students love it. And I think Hedda Cavill also loved it because he definitely was a different colour the time he went back to house. So he says he didn't, but he definitely did. So hopefully that can be bigger and better next year too, because who doesn't love a colour run at a festival?
And what was your favourite part of the day? Or you cut off, Jess.
You hear me?
Say that again. We missed you.
Okay, I said that's a very good but very tricky question because I love so many elements of it. I love planning it. I love thinking about the potential and what it would look like and what it will be, and get so excited about advertising it to students. I love the setup. Our estates team, I'm going to give them a shout out, are amazing people. No piece of bunting I wanted put up was too small, and they had far bigger issues to deal with rather than my bunting. But do you know what? They did it. They just were amazing. Every hay bale went out. And again, I need to say thank you to Tom, our local farmer, who kindly donated our hay bales for us to use on the day. So I love the setup. I love seeing it come together. I love seeing people arrive because that then starts to feel real. Probably the biggest thing is going down there and just seeing actually all that hard work behind the scenes pay off. Because when you walk around and you see kids naturally and just at ease and being interested and enjoying it and not being naughty, just having fun and being a child, which they would hate to be called a child, but you know what I mean. Being a child and having fun, playing with their friends, doing activities, seeing it together is just like, I love walking around and seeing it because it paid off. It worked. And they don't even know it, but they're absorbing in so much art without realising. I love seeing students perform because they're so brave. I couldn't do it, so I have so much respect for people that put themselves out there in that capacity to do it, and they're so talented, and we're really lucky. We had a brother and sister come on separately on the solo stage, and I do teach one of them, and they were saying, we're going on Britain's Got Talent, and they performed at Panto in the Norwich Theatre Royal Panto, just gone, and he's applied again, and one of them's in my tutor group. She really overcome about like a barrier, and it's just so nice to think they want to be there, and it's so nice to see the kids running their events with so much passion and enthusiasm, and I haven't had to teach that. That's become natural. So there isn't one thing where I think I loved it, because I loved it all. There's not one thing I didn't like about it, and it was so lovely going around and hearing other people say, oh, it's so lovely, it's such a good day, I'm having such a nice time, and then going into school on Monday to hear those lovely comments by even students I don't teach, it's just paid off. It's got to everyone, and I felt like everyone was included, and there was something for everyone. So I don't know if that answers your question. It's just really
No,
cool.
I think it does. But like, I think it's that because you only did it for like an afternoon, didn't you? Was it after lunch they went down?
Yeah, so it's just an afternoon.
Because that's the thing, everyone's like, oh, well, they lose another day of learning because they've got sports day and what have you. But like, actually, half a day to the amount that they will have learned from experiencing that for just half a day of lessons, especially at the end of the summer term. Like you said, you've lost year 11s, so you've got a bit more game time to kind of get it ready and what have you. But there's just so much that they will get out of it. And it will be one of those days that they won't forget when they leave school.
Yeah, I definitely hope not. And actually, we had a year 12 photographer go round and take photographs for us to document the day. And we also had a member of staff use a drone and capture the day. So I'm waiting for that video footage to come in to see it from a different height. But yeah, I'm hopeful that they'll remember it. Actually, we didn't take a full day. So talking about, you might have comments where they'll lose another day. They don't. We have sports day that only lasts an afternoon because they do lots of their activities and events inside lessons. They run an afternoon where parents and carers can come and watch sports day go. So we tend to do races and some field events for sports day. So they have half a day for sports day and they have half a day for the arts. So it's spread across the two anyway. So it's just on separate days.
No, that's the thing. I think students just get so much out of it, and there's so much that we forget that the arts can give students, like confidence, that ability to perform or even talk to people or sell something or make something or be passionate about something or tend and be customer service people. Like, there's just so much skill, isn't there, that we don't necessarily think that students aren't necessarily getting, especially like, I mean, yes, they go off into the do their careers and things and do their work experience, but actually this is giving them a little bit of a taster of that before they hit year 10 and go off for their work experience.
Oh yeah, definitely. Obviously I kind of touched upon it earlier. There's so many life skills around this that they're developing that they don't realise. But sometimes when you're like told you're going to develop this skill, it becomes laborious and a pressure. Whereas this isn't a you will learn this and you will do that. It's very much be involved as much or as little as you want. But regardless if you're involved, if you're a participant or you're a planner, you're still learning regardless. It's just multiple skills across. And like you say, you can see music and you think, I might want to take that, or I might want to now learn an instrument. We might see the drama stage, the theatre stage, and think, I want to get involved. See the art battle, I could do that. Or you just learn from your peers. It's just a great tool to learn from one another. So, and you probably saw students walking all the way around on every single stall. There's groups of students helping, wanting to be part and represent the college in that light, so it can inspire the rest to come later. So
did you find at the start it was harder to get the kids involved, or is that buy-in always been there? Or do you have any kids that do go, oh no, it's not my cup of tea, I'm not going to do any of it?
It's difficult to say because I didn't start it. The first one was 2017, so a long time before me, and then it was 2019, which I didn't say. I started in 2019, but after the event. From what Tim said, it was very popular, and he did a great job at it. When he spoke about it, he spoke really passionately about it, so that's kind of filtered through as well. And being part of the art department, it also filters through because they would have heard everything he was doing. So when it went for the first time with myself, because obviously we had to wait for COVID to kind of like do its thing and get back into it and bring it back, it kind of came back a bit, fresh and fiery. And we had some photographs from last time, and we were able to kind of like really get the buzz up. And again, heads of house were instrumental in making that work because they've been there and seen it. And we didn't actually have many students in 2022 that saw it in 2019 because they may have gone. So we had a tiny little bit of talk amongst students, but most of it came from staff, and the push for it was probably stronger the first year. I did lots of assemblies, going into every house, doing assemblies on what it was and how they could get involved, and going in there kind of like plugging, come on, get, do this or do that, and these are some ideas you can have. And I listed off lots of different resources. They can make it cheap, it's easy to do. And the buy-in for the first year was really good. The first year was amazing. It was better than I anticipated. And I didn't know what to expect because I'd never seen one before. There is a short film on YouTube, I believe, from 2017. So I kind of as well used that as a bit of a basis as to what it might look like. But it has grown a lot since then. And then the second year, because we did it again, it's like, oh, we did that last year. Yes, you did that last year. Can you remember, like, what do you want to do differently this year? And certain criteria changed last year. And that's just to do with, timetabling and time that we had and students that we had there and numbers and different trips. You know what it's like, trips going out on Norfolk show that same week. And it was trying to orchestrate that. So it looked slightly different to the first year. So then this year, some students have now seen it twice. So they've learnt twice. So they're going, right, we're going to bring this, we're going to do that. So buy-in is fairly easy. And my tutor group were very much into it, but they do have me as a tutor. So come
Is it all art teachers that are slightly competitive?
Yeah, and I don't think we're really seen as competitive. Actually, we are.
And I think it's when kids come up with an idea and we're like, no idea is too big. We can make anything happen. We like make the dreams come true sometimes.
But much to our detriment. It's like, yeah, no, you can do it. Of course you can. And before you know it, I have actually had this year a student bring in an old door. And I thought it was going to be a garage door, so it was only a front door. But I didn't actually expect it to happen. I was like, yeah, bring it in. You'll be fine. We were going to go all across the actual buildings at one point. So, yeah, there is no idea too small.
Not for an art teacher, hence why I've got a giant shark in my classroom at the moment. But
Well,
that's
I had
a story.
a fish last year about, I don't know how big it was, probably like 5 meters long, and it was an iron welded fish skeleton that she'd welded in her job outside of school, and then as her final piece she made fish guts, and that stood in the middle of our atrium. We didn't expect it to be that big, but it was huge. But gosh, it caused a stir. And art causes people to talk because it's controversial.
Exactly. And I guess that's the whole pretense of this. Is like everyone is chatting about it, and they will chat about it for weeks to come.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to somebody that wants to start an art fest? Where would you tell them to start?
Understand your students and learn where they're from, what they like, what they know, and what's missing in the curriculum. So understand your students, get to know who they are, and plan it through their eyes and not what you think they'll like. Get committees set up in school, whether it's year groups or house groups or tutor groups. Get committees for them to start creating the ideas for you to then lean on, go, is it doable? At one point we were talking about, students wanted inflatables and it wouldn't pass the risk assessment. So we say about ideas being too small, there is a health and safety element. So, but lots of it comes from them. Can we do it? Let's try and make it work. We'll do our best to make it work. I think students appreciate you trying and taking their opinion seriously, rather than going, I'm planning an event for you and you will do it. I'd just say get student buy-in and know who they are, and then the rest will come.
I love that. Like, know your students and do it through their eyes and get them to kind of come on board with you and help you with the planning, as opposed to you planning it for them. I guess that makes your workload easier as well if they're so involved that they can do it.
No. I want to say yes, but no. Because as well, like, we do have these, these things that we want to tick and make sure that we definitely do and give. And you can 100% there'll be a curveball thrown in right at the very end. And you're like, okay, I want to do this for you, so I'll make it happen. But it's always like when you least expect it and you think, yeah, but I'm on top of it all now. I've got it all planned. It's all ready. It's coming. And they suddenly go, we want to change it. It's like, you want to change it too? Come on then, what's your new idea? But it's a good thing. They're thinking about it all the time. They're kind of refining their ideas. And yeah, the only thing I've had to say no to is one of those balls that spin. Couldn't have one of them. And an inflatable. So we couldn't have one of them. But other than that, we've done everything within our powers to get as close to what they wanted or imagined themselves. And like it is, I've already run one of those Microsoft forms where students' feedback is so important. So I've already asked around 20 questions around different areas for them to have like complete say, so that I can, you know, extract that and go, right, what worked, what didn't work, what do they want more of, what do they want less of. So then when I plan for next year, it's based off experience and feedback as well.
And I guess as well, that backs you in terms of like going to SLT, going, I need to now do this and do this and do this. But did you find your SLT was really supportive?
Yeah, no, I have a very good SLT. I'm very lucky that where I work, I feel part of it. And I think people know me as the ideas maker. So, and one of the feedbacks I had was, your enthusiasm is rubbing off on us because you're so enthusiastic, we're so enthusiastic. And I thought, that's a really lovely comment to have in school, but I do get quite passionate about it because it is my little, if it all goes well, and I'm a sucker for detail. So I need to make sure that everything's kind of above board. And I had lots of SLT meetings. So I'd go to SLT meetings after school and kind of pitch the ideas to begin with. And then I'd have reviews as I went along, making sure that I'd considered safeguarding and attendance and registration and lunch and food and different types of students and going home and boarders. And that there was discussions around the logistics, I suppose, making sure it was all done within the kind of college way. So I was really lucky that I had the support of them in terms of communication and marketing and presence. They were all there, and it was really lovely because even the CEO of the whole trust contacted me after to congratulate me on the day. So I feel very fortunate to be in a position where it is supported and is wanted, and we're going again next year. The date's already in the diary.
Fabulous. We've had a message in from Paul, one of our hosts. He says, art gives us a reason to be joyful, reasons to live, purpose, direction, and meaning in life, and everyone can participate. And I think that sums it up beautifully. So if you've enjoyed tonight's show, then this is your calling, that you need to accost your school. Labour have said that they're going to make the arts more important. So this is, we want to see all the schools doing art festivals. Keir Summer, if you could fund that all, that'd be great.
Yeah, you can play this back to your schools and know that it works.
Exactly.
There's a model in place ready for you.
And I think that's it. If you can, the level of detail, like the business club, the houses, the kind of the different amnesties, the different opportunities to experience different things, getting the local community involved, the stalls, there's just every little detail, and you can really see everything that the kids are getting out of it. Whereas like sometimes if you can be like, oh, it's just a festival, like it's just a jolly, you want to really explain to your staff, to your SLT, what they're getting out of it and what a day they can have. And it's like I said, it's that memory that's never going to leave those kids. You should be very proud of everything you've achieved.
I'm so glad you were there. It was nice to see you.
I know, I was glad I got to sneak in and see it. So we've got a little So thank you, us. So and on that thank you note, I would just say a lovely thank you to our sponsors. We obviously have John Catt Educational, and you can use their code TTR2425 to get you 20% discount. Teaching How To's, also our sponsors that you can go and watch mine and Tom's show if you want to know more of that. Reading Solutions. And again, they had an amazing conference that if you sign up, you can get their videos, and Apps for Good, who do courses for non-computing staff as well as computing staff, and a little course for getting your kids to create apps, which is brilliant. So thank you so much, Jess, for joining us and sharing everything that you do. It's really amazing what you've achieved, and you should be very proud of yourself and definitely deserve a long summer break after that.
Only a few more days. We're state boarding school, but we finished on Friday.
Have you finished? Or you finished on Friday?
We finished on Friday, but we do work Saturdays, so we get the week that other state schools don't. So we're halfway to a private school, but we're state school still.
That's the thing. You can do it, and we're getting there. We're limping to the end, but we're fine. We can see it in sight. So
it's all worth it.
Exactly. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and have a lovely evening.
Angie, see you later.
Outstanding and world-class vision and world-class this.
I'm a real leadership geek, honestly. I've spent my whole career reading books and chatting to people.
I just find the whole thing and the announcement, the way it's been announced, bizarre.
If you could move away from a model where teachers are so intensely focused.